Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Johnny told Marlena how he made a fool of himself by accusing Chanel of cheating. He was certain that Chanel would not pardon him. Chanel expressed her gratitude to Abe for allowing her to stay at his and Paulina's flat. Speaking out against Johnny, she claimed that if he trusted her, he would be aware that she would never enter a hospital room covertly to have sex with one of her co-stars. Chanel assured Abe that Johnny was the issue and that he shouldn't feel bad about casting Alex. Chanel didn't want to speak with Johnny and didn't give a damn about what Seth had said. While working, Seth came over to Stephanie and jokingly apologized for the small incident in which he unintentionally exposed her. He wanted to call her a name, but he refrained and smiled as he left. In an attempt to find Justin, Alex asked Bonnie if she had alerted his father about the Stephanie scandal. Bonnie claimed that half of Salem knew she didn't have to. Admire Days, B&B, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here. Joy was contacted by Kate, who informed her that she had observed her audition. When Kate informed Joy that she had been cast as Reagan Holloway, Joy was overjoyed. Leo was in bed, attempting to create a fresh script for the part played by Reagan Holloway, but he was sleepy. He dozed out and started having dreams about Faith, Chanel, and Arrow, Alex, in the Pineview pub. "I know the audience wanted us together, but I wanted us even more," stated Faith. Joy, played by Reagan Holloway, stormed in and wanted to know what was happening. When Faith inquired about her identity, Reagan revealed that she was Arrow's spouse. Reagan showed Faith the enormous diamond ring she was wearing as she got to her feet. Faith attempted to give her a middle finger, but it didn't stretch when she said she had something to show her. In Pineview, Faith pointed out she couldn't do that. She examined and took the script. She displayed fear and panic, as it was instructed. Reagan ordered Arrow to forget about Faith as she fled. "Reagan Holloway is the only woman who knows what you want and how to give it to you," she said. Arrow announced their separation to Reagan. After saying, "Faith is the only woman for me, and I am going to find her," Arrow hurried away. Reagan took up a steak knife that was on the table. She pondered, "We'll see about that." Faith informed her father that her life was over when she went to his house. She clarified that Arrow was wed to Reagan Holloway, that terrible woman. "His high school sweetheart?" Abe, Commissioner Marshall, inquired. He said that he had read the spoilers when Faith appeared perplexed. "I thought we were finally going to be together, but now it's all ruined." Faith sobbed. There was a tap on the door after Faith's father had left for the station. "Arrow, get out!" she screamed. Instead, Faith was stabbed with a knife by a person wearing a mask. They fled, leaving the knife on the ground. When Arrow arrived a moment later, he discovered Faith dead on the ground. He took the knife and held her. He pondered, "Who could have done this to you?" Her father said, "You did," from the doorway. Arrow insisted he didn't kill Faith when the commissioner and Detective John Hotson, Johnny, entered. He claimed to have seen a person wearing a mask in the hallway. "You mean this mask?" Hotson uttered those words. When Hotson informed Arrow that he was being arrested, Arrow believed Hotson had put on the mask. Arrow screamed and made a martial arts position when Hotson was behind bars. Shortly after Arrow's departure, the commissioner discovered Hotson confined in the jail. Pulling out the jail keys, the commissioner said to Hotson, "Lucky I carry these in my pockets at all times," and they let him go. Arrow visited Cassandra, Bonnie, who informed him that the Pineview plunger was the culprit. "Really, the plunger? That needs to be rewritten," he said after pausing. Because he refused her, Arrow claimed he was innocent and believed the plunger to be Reagan. When Arrow discovered Faith dead on the ground, he was shocked. "I feel like I've lost her forever," he stated. Arrow was reminded by Cassandra of the begonia that had revived her. Perhaps it could do the same for Faith, she reasoned. Cassandra persuaded Dr. Lamourie, Seth, to give her an additional dosage of the begonia juice back at the hospital. She promised to revive Faith if Arrow met her in room 302 within 10 minutes. I don't know how you got me out of handcuffs in the first place, and now you're giving me a chance to be with Faith again, Arrow laughed. When Arrow arrived in room 302, the Pineview plunger had killed Cassandra. Hot Sun entered the room as the commissioner picked up the knife next to her. The commissioner said, "We've got to stop meeting like this," to Arrow. Hot Sun began to recite his rights to Arrow, but Arrow refused to acknowledge that he was the plunger. She was dead on the ground when he stated it was Reagan Holloway. They exclaimed, "She's been plunged." The commissioner shouted for Hot Sun to follow Arrow down the stairway as he fled the room. "There's a stairwell?" Confused, Hot Sun asked. "It's off camera," shouted the commissioner. After locating Miranda, Steph, Arrow informed her that he was being set up. He claimed that although he was aware that she was one of Reagan's closest and oldest friends, the plunger murdered her. Since Miranda had returned to Pineview, he inquired as to whether she had spoken with Reagan. "She said you were a no-good, dirty, sorry, I can't say those words in Pineview," Miranda said, pausing. "She claimed that I was a bad, filthy, expletive delete? So why would she want me to return?" Arrow pondered. According to Miranda, Reagan was resentful when he was born. She also said she was going to get you back if you rejected her, and someone was going to help her do it, Miranda continued. Arrow became aware that Dr. Lamoury was assisting Reagan. Lamoury suspected Arrow of being the plunger, but he managed to find him. They conclude that Lamoury gave her begonia juice and that Charlemagne Lecroix, Marlena, is still alive. Lamoury said he was merely obeying orders when Arrow attempted to haul him away to inform the police. There was the plunger waiting when Arrow opened the door. Arrow informed 911 that there had been another murder after Dr. Lamoury was killed. He advised everyone to visit the mansion right away and said that Charlemagne was the murderer. Arrow discovered Miranda with a knife in her back as he went to inform her that Charlemagne was still alive. When Hot Sun entered, Arrow claimed to have discovered Miranda in that manner. Charlemagne. Charlemagne was there. Charlemagne was there. Charlemagne was there. Charlemagne was there. Arrow said it again. "Are you going to quit asking questions and let me talk?" "What?" Hot Sun inquired. He claimed that he was present to support the assertion that Miss Powers was with Charlemagne on the eve of the initial killing. Charlemagne was informed by the commissioner that his detective was verifying her alibi. Her word should be sufficient, Charlemagne believed. "You're not the plunger," the commissioner concurred as the killer came right up to them. "There are more recurring beats here than a Dr. Dre song," Hot Sun stated. Arrow said, "You can say that again," and then he took off again. Arrow discovered Charlemagne and the commissioner dead when he dashed into the living room of the estate. Hot Sun rushed into the room as Arrow grabbed up the knife. "Oh, come on," was his grumble. Arrow would receive points for consistency, according to Hot Sun. Since no one remained in the cast, they concluded that one of them had to be the plunger. Hot Sun didn't believe Arrow when he warned that the plunger was behind him. Hot Sun was stabbed by the plunger. Arrow's clothing was covered in blood as he collapsed to the ground. On a tropical island, Arrow awoke on a bench outside. Around him, every member of the cast was alive. They heard Kate say, "Welcome to Wivenip." Wivenip was Pineview backwards, Kate clarified. Who wanted them dead, Arrow wondered. Leo approached and introduced himself. "It is my responsibility to manipulate your life. Who you fall in love with and whether you live or die are decisions I make. I am your free will, you do not have any. So relax and stop worrying so much." "I understand," Leo answered. "Reality is what I said it was," he added. They alerted him that the plunger was approaching from behind as he talked. "I did that joke in Act 4 with Hot Sun," Leo replied. Charlemagne turned to face them all after removing the plunger mask. "Hattie?" inquired Leo. She yelled, "I'm Dr. Marlena Evans." "You're the plunger from Pineview? Why do you treat me as if I were your next dare?" "I believed that we were buddies." Leo inquired. When Marlena said, "Okay, Mr. Wish Respecter," he raised her from the grave after she reminded him that she only wanted to do one scene.